Welcome back to Football Life. This week, football culture takes us to Launceston, the home of arguably the best football ground in Tasmania and the base of the NTFA, and the spiritual home of the Blocky. It's 8 o'clock on a Friday night, it's 5 degrees. I'm standing in the Launceston Mall where Mark Stone has sent me to do street talk, assuring me there's late night shopping, which there isn't. There are, however, a few young men with their skateboards and a lot of cars that keep going around and around and around. So we're standing here in one of Launceston's famous Blocky areas, and are you a Launceston man from way back, sir?
Yes, I was born and bred in Launceston.
And has the Blocky always been part of Launceston culture?
I was 50 last year and it was there when I was a kid and it's here now, so...
Did you do the Blocky yourself in your younger days?
Not so much. I was involved with cars and car clubs, but it really is a culture nowadays.
Is the Blocky all about? Is it usually a Friday, Saturday night thing, or does it happen all throughout the week?
Wednesday nights as well, I think, like, because that's uni night, like all the uni people and all that.
The uni students do Blockies too?
If they got their licence, I suppose. Yeah, every night people do Blockies, mainly Friday and Saturday night, so just to meet new people.
Tell us about the Blocky. Why do people go around and around the block, and what does it mean to Launceston?
It's basically, young guys and that, showing off their masterpiece cars and, what they've done with them,
Yeah.
Is there anything you look for in a masterpiece car and a young guy doing a Blocky? Are there certain cars that you like, or music?
I don't know. If I got a spoiler, we'll look at them. We like spoilers.
So any guy doing a Blocky with a spoiler's half a chance?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
We've found out where it all happens on George Street, just down from the Brisbane Street Mall, and the cars keep going round and round. People are winding down their windows saying g'day to us, wishing us all the best for our night, and generally taking advantage of everything Launceston on Friday night has to offer. Have you been doing some Blockies tonight?
I have been, actually.
How do you feel your Blockies going tonight?
Yeah, good.
Have petrol prices hit the Blocky hard, do you think?
I don't know.
Don't know?
Don't know.
Good luck.
So yeah.
What about the Blocky in Launceston? Is the Blocky important to Launceston street culture?
No, they're just drongos, mate.
No, you don't like the Blocky?
Drongos.
Working on Friday nights, you get a bit sick of it, yeah?
Yeah.
I used to do them when I was younger, but now they're just boring. It's just like driving around in circles, so nobody really... People only do it now if they're desperate.
Leon, you were saying that you've had your time of doing the Blocky yourself?
Oh yeah, well I was a young bloke.
Yeah, with his hotted up cars and stuff.
FJs.
With your old FJ?
Yeah.
How about that?
You used to have the best of them.
What sort of car is the best car to do a Blocky in or to watch a Blocky in?
I'd say a Mini Mate.
With the dancing feet, rockin' and rollin', shakin' the rhythm, shakin' the time, yeah.
Fellas, even though you can't afford a car, you're still very much committed to the Blocky culture.
Yeah, mate, Blockies are the way to go on a Friday night.
How's your Blocky been going tonight?
Not too bad. We've had a few looks at a few of the chicks, but, with a car like this, you can't really pick up, so I'll go the other way, mate.
What about the music? Do you think the music that's played with the Blocky has changed over the years?
Oh, definitely.
What sort of music was popular
Before, well, rock and roll. Rock and roll was, the 60s and the 70s were a great era for music. Nowadays...
And a great era for the Blocky?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely, because in 66 they brought out the GT Falcon and the Monaro came out not long after, and, people like me hung on to the old FJ, and, I even had a Volkswagen at one stage with mag wheels and, full race motor, so, I've been there and done that, but mainly interested in sporting car clubs, but the Blocky today is a real culture as such, yes, definitely.
Well, that was Launceston culture and the Blocky. Now, the NTFA is the association that surrounds the Launceston area. The main issue for football in Launceston being that the former statewide league clubs of North Launceston, South Launceston and Launceston are still insisting on playing in the NTFL, which is essentially a North West Coast league.
Oh, breaks clear, kicks long.
I caught up with former President Jack Bennett, who talked about plans for a Premier League, which includes getting those Launceston-based clubs back in the NTFA.
It would hope that next year plans are afoot to create a Premier League, to be in the 6V area, and hopefully be able to have the Northern Bombers, Launceston, South Launceston and Deloraine join with 4 of our clubs, present clubs, and form a Premier League that we would think would be of standard that could come up to the past.
How important is that for football in the Launceston area, that we get the former statewide leagues clubs and the strongest teams possibly playing in this area?
I think it's imperative. I think that there's a changing face in football. At the moment we seem to have the country aspect of football covered, because people still want to go to the football and they want to watch a game of football in a town sense and be able to barrack for their town, have a pie, have a beer and enjoy themselves. Now there's that style and standard of football, and it's still wanted and it's still current. But there's also a need for the corporate sector to come into football, where you've got a magnificent stadium like York Park, where you've got corporate boxes, where people like to watch football in comfort, and that also creates an opening. And I think that if you have a Premier League playing here, then that's the sort of thing one would aim for.
One of the unique features of York Park is the Triple S media shed on top of the Northern Bombers rooms. Danny, Steve and Derek are all volunteers and provide a great live media coverage from York Park for local footy fans. Steve, the shed that you're standing in front of looks pretty good now, but apparently it wasn't always as ship-shape as it is today.
Well, this shed's been here for many years, but unused for about 20 years. It was derelict, and to access it, you used to have to climb through a window full of rubbish. No one had used it in 20 years, and the Launceston City Council with the Northern Bombers have helped us deck it out. Nick and Danny, Nick, our other commentator's electrician, we've decked this out at our cost. So we've got the best seat in the house. We're 3 stories up here at the best football ground in Tasmania, and we've got the best seat in the house to commentate from. We had exclusive AFL rights for the Anzac Cup game between Hawthorn and Richmond earlier in the year, and we're bringing back to Northern Tasmania what the people want. That's local football.
And you had some exclusive AFL rights to the Anzac Cup game, is that right? The
yes,
only radio broadcast?
Only radio broadcast, but also we like to go into homes like Peacehaven and Nazareth House and all those who can't get to the football. We like to bring local football back into those sort of people who used to come but can't get to the grounds nowadays.
That's great. What a great thing you're doing for Northern Tasmania.
It sure is.
No visit to the footy would be complete without a taste test. At York Park, Merrill from the Bracknell Footy Club had been making hamburgers in a portable barbecue since 9 a.m. And how many hamburgers have you produced for us today?
Coming up to 300 on this. So
300? That's a pretty solid job, particularly in about 1 metre square of space.
You're not wrong.
Does it get pretty hot in there?
Very hot and noisy, so yeah.
Okay, and what about your hamburgers? Where do they come from?
We buy them from SBA at Longford. So we buy as much as possible local and work from there. So.
Now, Marilyn, is it possible for us to try one of these 300 hamburgers you've been churning out today?
I can do that for you. Getting towards the end of our day here, but...
Oh, nice, crispy onion. Look at that sauce.
Must have a lid.
Must have a lid. Well, here we go. It's actually the Bracknell canteen, but they've been tendering this particular portable barbecue at York Park. So let's see how their hamburger goes in foreign circumstances.
Oh, Maryland.
Oh, it's very hot. When the onion's nice and crispy, I'd say 7.5 out of 10. So we're talking to these ladies' backs. So, ladies, who are you supporting today?
Everyone.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Have you been here all day?
Yes.
Yeah? And what's the best thing about York Park as a football ground?
No. I don't know. No!
Is it good to be able to watch footy under lights?
Did they follow me?
As for the 4 games played on the day, the standard was very high, with the winners being Georgetown, Scottsdale, Rocher-Lee, and in the final game between Hillwood and Longford, I saw an absolute perler, the best game of footy I've seen all year. With 2 minutes to go, the scores were tied, but Longford kicked a couple of quick points to win by exactly that margin. Do you feel it'll be a good thing for NTFA if the North Launceston, Lonnie and South Launceston came back?
Oh, look, I definitely do. I mean, look, there's no doubt those clubs that when they come back would probably be dominant for a year or two, and there's no doubt about that. But I think to give the football back to the public at a reasonable level, which is where we want it to be, they've got to come back and just be happy to win a couple of flags, I suppose, and let us blokes, our sides and our units work our butt off to decrease the gap, you know, and realistically we're probably, you know, 4 quality players off those sides, but you know that's attainable. That's attainable. But if they're not in the same league, we have no shot.
Well, it's been a good day's footy at York Park, and pretty much everyone in the NTFA reckons the old statewide league clubs from Launceston should come back. We can't do anything about that right now, but we can do something about something else, and that is the Blocky. Big thank you to Tasmania for their support of football culture. Do they do the Blocky in Melbourne, Stoney?
That's something I haven't done yet, Dave. I'm going to have to get into the Blocky culture in Tassie, so you have to take me out, Dave.
When we go up for these regional games, North versus South, we'll get into a few Blockies up in Launceston. But big thank you to the North Lodge, where we stayed in Launceston. Fantastic accommodation overlooking the beautiful Monkey Park there in Launceston. And the musicians, Stoney?
Matt Charles, Snapback, and the Robinsons again, Dave. And what a great musician band they are, Dave.
Fantastic. They get a lot of airplay on the show. Don't go away now. After the break, John X and Taz Talk.